Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. This time I'm looking at the 3D Damsel. Just an exceptionally good pattern when it comes to rainbow trout. It works very well for brownies as well actually. But big waters, small waters, that bit of tungsten bead and a point will give you that perfect jigging up and down motion. In the way I've created the body, it gives it extra bulk, but also it catches a lot of light, which can be a real key. So I start off with a 3.3mm copper bead on the hook there. That's a 230 BL, it's a size 8. I just really like the hooking potential of this. The hook point facing up just seems to work really well. A black 80 thread. To be fair, you can use any thread, it's a body, it's underneath, you're never going to see it. So black was to hand. If you're very pernickety, obviously you can use olive. And I'm going to come down to a point, you'll see where that bend turns and you've got the kink in the hook. There you go, I've stopped there. End of the body. So I'm going to come back up to my tying in point. I've got some olive green marabou. Obviously you can mix the marabou colours, but olive green works really well. You can use this method on many patterns, but specifically for this damsel, 3D damsel, it works exceptionally well. And you'll notice I catch that in behind the bead. That's because I want the body to be all the same thickness. So winding down and touching turns with my olive marabou. Catch it into the bit where I finished the thread wraps on the body. You can see I've got quite a lot of marabou there. I'm just going to come in and trim the stub ends and then just tidy up this top area. It just locks the bead in place as well when you've got those butt ends tight up against it. Now you can have the tail as long as you want. I didn't have it too long, probably twice the length of the body, the hook shank. Sorry, the hook. Any longer you get a lot of tail nip, so I'm looking for the trout to engulf the fly rather than nip at the tail. So what I do now is I've got this. This is a really old chenille given to me years ago by Steve Parton. I found it very hard to get a hold of, but one of my mates dyed me some up. I reckon if I could mention up here, so I better not say anything. But it's like an olive synergy hackle, if that makes sense. It's an old-fashioned one, and I've got here some Spectra tub, and we've got the bright cat green, number 96. They probably liken it to a caddis colour, but I call that cat green. It's that greeny, basically greeny colour you put in a cat's whisker. So I dub a decent rope there, not too thin but also not too thick. I'm going to wind up in touching turns right along the body. So coming up, leave myself a little space at the bead there. Probably just a tiny little bit more. There you go, just a couple of wraps. And we've got to use that to pull through and out. So I come up with my hackle, my Fritz hackle, and I'm going to wind in open turns, and I'm always stroking my fibres of the Fritz hackle towards the tail. Pulling away, basically. Pull in the right direction. We pull it under the water. So I've got nice even turns there. I'll probably get 4 or 5. Winding up the body. There you go, 5. Secure that in. Now you can see I've got open ribs of the Fritz. And I can still see that dubbing. Now that's crucial. I like to use a knife when I'm dealing with synthetics. It's better for your scissors. So I use a craft knife. And just with your tying thread, just pull that hackle back a bit so it's sloping back towards the tail. If needs be, use your thumb and forefinger to rub it, stroke it back. Stick a little whip finish in there. Because now I'm going to work the fly. I'm going to work that hen's dubbing out and into the hackle. This is how I get the 3D name. It really adds some sort of heft and bulk to the fly. But also, when you see that from below, bear in mind most of the time the fish are looking up to find the prey. It gives an amazingly good silhouette. If you tie a fly or something similar to this and then just look up at it, against the sun, and you'll see what I mean. Just a tremendous silhouette. Stroke the fibres back. Stroking everything back. There you go. This really looks the part. Got that halo through the body. And then just another tiny couple of bits of the marabou tips. And I'm going to use that as dubbing. Just to tidy up the thread area at the head, if that makes sense. You can leave it like that, but just for aesthetics, I just think it looks a little bit better. Stroking your fibres back and bringing that thread up to the bead. Leave a little bit of space because I'm going to lock the thread behind the bead that it can't get interfered with, rather than using varnish. Again, just a little pull through with that Velcro. And then in, whip finish, so that your whip finish is in behind the bead. And that's him, 3D Damsel. An exceptional fly. Definitely through the summer and autumn, but the whole year through. But key times, just now, high summer and right the way through. Great at still waters, great in reservoirs. That tungsten bead giving it the duck and diving motion. I really hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe to my channel and take care, everybody.